What was the most disappointing thing about tonight?
Well, there was more than one. I don't know if I can tell you the most disappointing. There's more than one shorthanded goal when we have a chance to put our stamp on it, and I wouldn't go the other way, not the first time this year either. So that's a big momentum swing in the game. Some messy at the end, that's not as much. That was a big moment. You know, we came out with lots of energy in the third period. We had 3 or 4 good looks around Bobrovsky. Had a chance to push and then shot ourselves in the foot, I guess you'd call it. It's one of the words in the phrases. There's a few different ones.
Jim, when we've talked to you throughout the season, you've mentioned how throughout the game you guys have played well, but there's been these mental mistakes, and it happened again tonight, turnovers, bad penalties. Why do those continue to happen throughout the season so far at the start?
Yeah, well, I would say that they probably happen all over the league at this time. Well, not this time, all season. The game, it's very few times that, because the league is so good, that a player or two can just go and make something happen on their own. The game is a game of mistakes. When somebody makes a mistake, then somebody takes advantage of it. And right now, when we're making a mistake, they're taking pretty good advantage of it. They have made a few mistakes tonight too. They took some penalties tonight too. We just are not taking advantage of those opportunities in those times. Yeah, if you look at it, there wasn't 1 or 2 guys that just skated through, pulled this puck through, and it's mistakes and capitalizing. We are making mistakes, they're capitalizing. We are not capitalizing when we get our opportunities. That's a big part of it right now.
For those opportunities that you weren't able to capitalize on, do you look back at maybe the first period when maybe you could have taken control of the game, or do you look back at maybe the third when you were still in it for a little bit and then couldn't get back?
Yeah, no, it's the whole game. So the game's usually a 1-goal league, you know what I mean? So if we get a lead early, they're probably going to push, and it's probably going to be tight. That's the story of our team. It's always a tight game, but we had opportunities. They were able to finish. We did not finish, but what I would say is we were around their net a fair amount. Bear scored a breakaway goal tonight, but if you want to score goals, you got to go to the front of the net. You got to go to the front of the net, and if you haven't scored enough, I would argue it's because you haven't been there enough. And to get those breakdowns, mistakes, it's hard to score on the outside and make your passes. It's just, you'll get some, but you're not going to get a lot.
It's 11 games without a goal for Quentin Byfield. What's going on there?
I mean, I don't know. He's trying. I think he hit the crossbar early in the third. Yeah, well, I guess you can back up to how I answered the last question. I would say if you're not scoring, it's been 11 games, I'd spend a little more time around the net front, and I would make it a little simpler as far as being direct with the puck. I mean, there's no other magic formula outside of that. He's working, you know what I mean? If I say, hey, he's not working, no, he's playing his game, he's probably not inside enough.
Ending a homestand with a game like that, going out on a long road trip, is it good to have 2 days off, or would you rather get back at it as quickly as possible?
I mean, we got a long flight out to Pittsburgh tomorrow, so we'll get a practice in. I think that's always good. It's the practice time this season in particular is few and far between. So we'll have a long day, have a practice, and then a 2 o'clock games. There's not much time for anything really, and you just have to make sure that minimize as many of the mistakes as you can. You're never going to go clean, and then we got to find a way to score some goals when we're in around the net. It's not too complicated.
You found some footing with the last road trip. There is this one coming at a good time for you guys? You know, given that the last road trip you won 4 out of 5, you could have even swept it whatsoever. Is this road trip coming at a good time for you guys?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I have a good answer for that, Eric. And what I would say is, whenever the next game comes, whether it was at home or on the road, I don't think there's an advantage to get out on the road. But we have to be ready to go from the start. It's an early goal again. Right? Jersey was an early goal I didn't like. This was an early goal again. Puts you behind the 8 ball. And not that we didn't come out hard, but we just made a mistake and it's in the net.
Last question, Andrew. Yeah, you talked about Q, but he's not the only one that's cold. I think, Kobe finally gets one to go tonight, but you've gotten 3 goals from your centers all season. Is there something systematic that you're saying, something lacking in execution? It certainly seems to be unusual for what we expect from those 4 guys.
Yeah, they're snake bitten a little bit, but I would tell you, Cope scored tonight. Where did he score from? Right in front of Bobrovsky. You know what I mean? And it's not that simple. You have to work the puck up the ice, and somebody has to get it there. Stand in front of the net. But what I would say is, if you have the opportunity, we've got possession. That's where you want to end up.
Perfect, thank you, Jim.
Okay?
Davies, Coach.